In 1944, in the remote Pyrenees, Franco's army is clearing out a band of guerrillas. A daydreaming 10-year-old named Ophelia, played by Ivana Baquero, may be the reincarnation of the princess of the underworld, but she is currently helpless in the realm of her wicked stepfather. He, the citified Captain Vidal, played by Sergi Lopez, is the emblem of that fascism that an audience loves to hate. But Ophelia has a godfather, accent on the first syllable. He is the great god Pan, played by Doug Jones. The human scale is never lost in Pan's Labyrinth, despite these excursions to the next world. Here is the most satisfying kind of fairy tale, a conflict between the brutality of the male world and a moon world of enchantment in which women are all the warriors.
And the imagination of Guillermo del Toro. In darkness, there can be light. In misery, there can be beauty. In death, there can be life. Pan's Labyrinth.
Mort, this is a masterpiece of fantasy. I think that while Del Toro draws upon Goya for some of his imagery, his melding of history with the world of enchantment is I think especially apropos here. He was kind of, his earlier film Devil's Backbone was kind of a study for this, but this is eminently more satisfying. Tell me about it, what you thought.
Well, I agree with you. I would just take off the word fantasy and just call it plainly a masterpiece.
Yeah.
Everything works in it. It is absolutely riveting. Some people I've seen say that they thought that the violence was rather gratuitous, but they don't know anything about the Spanish Civil War. And it was even more brutal than that. I have read a number of histories and biographies written at that time.
Yeah, Civil Wars
really
always are the worst. But
and they were really terrible in this thing. It just got all mixed up. But the as you say, the contrasting of the real world with the world beyond, or what I like to say is the world of time, mortality, and the world of timelessness, which is the world of fantasy vision and the hope of folk tales and fantasy tales. The world really of the earth, because that is Pan. Pan is the god of the earth. Well, it was just extraordinary, and the imagination and how it was done by Del Toro.
It's rare to see this done for adults. It's rare to see this done with no kidding. Like doing it in a very serious level. Approaching it like that. I'd also add that Lopez, he was marvelous in a French film called With a Friend Like Harry, as this crafty Hitchcockian psycho who seemed like the nicest guy in the world, is so good as Captain Vidal here.
Well, let's not forget Sergei Lopez, who you're talking about, in that wonderful, wonderful, creepy French film. In the English film, Pretty Dirty Things, he is the guy who is manipulating everything that's going on in that hotel, and he is very crafty and nasty there. He is really an actor to watch. And since he makes a lot of his films in Spain and France, we don't see him very much. But he is extraordinary.
This is worth seeing several times anyway.
Absolutely. It is just plainly a masterpiece, folks. Don't miss it.